Have you ever had that stinging, just persistent, almost agonizing urge to scratch your legs or your back the very instant you pull off your clothes in the morning?
Oh, absolutely. It's that immediate aggressive sensation. It's not just a little itch.
No, it's not. Or, that moment you step out of a warm shower and your skin just feels shrink-wrapped.
Yes, or when you look down and it genuinely resembles what we sometimes call the cracked desert floor. That fine, tight, rough scaling.
Exactly that. And it doesn't matter if you live in the arid climate of, say, the Mountain West, or you're battling that dry, heated indoor air in the cold Northeast. It's a universal annoyance.
It is, and most people just write it off as, oh, I just need some lotion.
Right. But today we are diving deep into what's actually going on, the physiological failure behind it.
And that chronic winter discomfort has a name. Pruritus humilis. Or, winter itch. And you're so right. It's not just dryness. It's a fundamental sign that your skin's most important physiological barrier has been compromised.
And this is a true deep dive because we're not just guessing here. This is all based on well-researched, science-backed principles of human physiology.
That's right. All the information we're presenting today, from the actual mechanisms of water loss to the protocols for fixing it, it's all compiled, researched, and validated by Sharad Mishra,
who is a renowned holistic and metabolic health educator and a consultant pharmacist.
Exactly. So we're giving you scientifically proven information to really help you understand the structural integrity of your own skin.
So our mission today is pretty ambitious. We're going to understand the precise mechanism of the itch. Then we'll identify the critical internal deficiencies that make you susceptible.
And then we'll deliver proven, actionable protocols. And not just, product recommendations, but full techniques for total skin barrier restoration.
Okay, let's start with the big question. Why does cold air feel like it's literally stealing your moisture?
We have to start with the wall that protects you. It's called the stratum corneum.
The outermost layer of the skin.
That's the one. And to really get it, we use the brick and mortar analogy.
I love that visual. So break down the bricks and the mortar for us.
Of course. So the bricks are your corneocytes. Those are basically the dead, flattened skin cells that give the wall its structure.
Okay, simple enough.
But the real star here, the key to all of this, is the mortar.
The stuff holding it all together.
Precisely. The mortar is the lipid matrix. It's a very specific blend of fats, ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids. And this layer is absolutely essential. It holds water in and, just as crucially, keeps external irritants out.
In the summer, that wall feels strong. But the second winter hits and we crank up the furnace, that whole structure just seems to collapse. What's the physics driving that?
It's a process called transepidermal water loss. We call it TEWL for short. And really, it's governed by a simple humidity gradient. It's just physics at work.
Okay, TEWL.
Think about it. Your skin is warm and moist, so it's a high concentration of water. The winter air, especially that super dry indoor air,
is a low concentration. So, like heat escaping through an open door, the moisture just wants to balance itself out.
You got it. Physics just dictates that moisture moves from that high concentration in your skin to the low concentration, which is the air.
So whether it's 20 degrees outside in Chicago or, 3% humidity inside a heated home in Denver.
It doesn't matter. The air is acting like a constant vacuum, just pulling water right out through that lipid mortar.
That explains the tightness for sure. But how does just losing water turn into that stinging, unbearable itch that feels like a bigger leap?
It's a chain reaction.
Yeah.
So when water escapes the stratum corneum, the bricks, those corneocytes, they start to shrink a lot.
I see where this is going.
As they shrink, they pull away from each other and their edges start to curl up. This opens up microscopic cracks and fissures in your protective wall. This is the barrier breach.
And this is where it gets really painful because now things that should be on the outside suddenly have a way to get in.
Exactly. Everyday irritants. The residue from your laundry detergent, the slight roughness of a wool sweater, chemicals in your soap. They all penetrate those cracks.
And they reach the nerve endings underneath.
Which triggers an immediate alarm. Your immune system sees these irritants as an attack.
The alarm goes off.
The fire alarm, yes.
Oh, wait.
Your immune cells release these inflammatory signaling proteins called cytokines. And those cytokines are the chemical messengers that create the sensation of itching. They send that urgent, scratch me now signal straight to your brain.
Wow. So it's actually an immune response to a structural failure.
Fundamentally, yes. An inflammatory response caused by dryness.
Okay, so that explains why my neighbor can sail through winter just fine while I'm a mess. Our structural integrity must be different. Which brings us to our internal defenses. Our nutritional status has to be playing a huge role here.
Absolutely. If you go into the dry season with internal deficiencies, your defense is already weak. We've identified 4 key nutritional deficits that can really compromise that skin barrier.
Let's start with the big one, the one that affects almost everyone in the U.S. during winter: vitamin D.
Vitamin D is critical. It governs something called keratinocyte differentiation. That's the process where your skin cells mature and form a strong, organized, resilient barrier. When sun exposure plummets in the winter, vitamin D production just grinds to a halt.
So if you're stuck indoors, you're not just missing the sun, you're literally making weaker skin cells.
That's it. And there's research, like a study from 2012, that directly links low vitamin D levels to impaired barrier function and lower skin moisture. In our analogy, a vitamin D deficit means your bricks are weak and porous. Water just leaks right out.
Okay, so weak bricks. Now what about the mortar? That lipid matrix needs building blocks, and I know most of us are low on omega-3 fatty acids.
They are so vital. Omega-3s, especially EPA and DHA from fish, are the raw material for that protective lipid matrix. If you don't eat enough, your body can't produce a thick, resilient mortar.
So you end up with a thin, brittle layer that just can't trap water effectively.
Right. It can't stand up to the force of TDWL.
But omega-3s do more than just build, right? They also help calm down the itch itself.
They do. This is their anti-inflammatory role. They inhibit inflammatory pathways, turning down these chemical messengers called leukotrienes.
Oh.
Leukotrienes are powerful inflammatory molecules, often involved in things like asthma, but they also trigger the sensation of itch. So by getting enough omega-3s, you're both strengthening the wall and you're neutralizing the alarm system.
We've got the bricks and the mortar. What about when the cracks still appear? What do we need to patch those fissures quickly before the cytokines get released?
That's where zinc comes in. Zinc is the body's repair agent. It's essential for protein synthesis, for wound healing, for stabilizing cell membranes. If your zinc is low, your body's ability to repair those constant tiny cracks is just severely impaired. It leaves your nerve endings exposed for longer.
And lastly, vitamin A. I always think of it for vision, but it has a really visible effect on skin.
It's a major regulator of cellular turnover. When you're deficient, a classic sign is something called follicular hyperkeratosis.
That rough, bumpy skin, sometimes called chicken skin, I see it on the back of people's arms.
Exactly. Now imagine that already compromised texture being hit with dry winter air. The dryness and inflammation just get so much worse.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem perfectly. External attack meets internal weakness. Let's get to the action plan. We need protocols to stop the evaporation and rebuild the wall.
We start with the gold standard for restoring hydration, and it's one that everybody gets wrong because of one critical detail: timing. Protocol 1 is the soak and seal method.
Let's break down that timing, because my first instinct on a cold day is a super hot, long shower. It just feels better.
And that is the absolute worst thing you can do for winter itch.
Oh, no.
Hot water strips away those precious lipids, the mortar. It accelerates TEWL. The soak has to be lukewarm, and for only about 10 minutes. The whole goal is just to force water back into those shrunken skin cells so they can swell up and close the gaps.
Okay, 10 minutes, lukewarm water, plump up the cells. Now for the seal. This is the moment I think we all miss.
The seal is everything, and the window of opportunity is tiny. You must apply a heavy moisturizer, a cream, not a light lotion, within 3 minutes of turning off the water.
3 minutes, that's fast.
It has to be. The science is simple. If you get out, towel off completely, wait 5 minutes until you feel dry, all that water you just forced in has already evaporated. You have to apply that barrier while the skin is still damp to trap the water inside the cells.
You're locking the door before the moisture can get out.
Precisely. It changes everything. It's not about moisturizing dry skin. It's about sealing wet skin.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, fighting the environment itself.
Protocol 2. Humidify your habitat. If the air in your home is acting like a vacuum, you have to balance that equation.
So get a humidifier.
Get a cool mist humidifier and keep your indoor humidity between 30 and 50%. Below 30, you accelerate water loss. Above 50, you can run into issues with mold. This one simple action directly reduces that osmotic pull on your skin.
And finally, Protocol 3 is about building from the inside. Dietary lipid loading.
You have to rebuild that mortar from the inside out. This means strategically increasing your intake of healthy fats. Walnuts, flax seeds for plant-based omega-3s.
And fatty fish?
Absolutely. Salmon, mackerel, sardines, for the really crucial EPA and DHA. And don't forget avocados and olives. You are literally providing the raw materials for your body to build a better, more water-retentive barrier.
Okay, now that we know the process and the timing, let's get into the toolbox, the specific ingredients that actually work, because as you said, not all creams are created equal.
No, they're not. Let's start with the most important structural ingredient, ceramides.
Ceramides, so these physically repair the mortar.
Exactly. They are molecules that mimic your skin's natural lipids. Think of them as the regrouting specialists for your cracked wall. Clinical studies consistently show that moisturizers with ceramides significantly reduce TEWL because they actively fill in those gaps.
Okay, next up is urea, which you called a double agent. I'm fascinated by that.
Oh. Urea is unique. It serves two distinct functions at once. First, it's a powerful humectant. That means it grabs water and pulls it into the stratum corneum.
Oh, it brings moisture in.
And second, it's a keratolytic. It gently dissolves and smooths away that rough, dead, scaling skin, that cracked desert floor look.
So you get hydration and a smoother texture. What concentration should we be looking for on the label?
For clinically proven results for what's called xerosis, that's the scaling and itching look for creams with a 10% urea concentration. That's the sweet spot.
Then there's the old classic, the heavy-duty sealer that gets a bad rap for being messy, petrolatum.
Or petroleum jelly.
Yeah.
You know, it remains the unrivaled gold standard of occlusives. If your only mission is to stop water loss, nothing beats it. It creates a seal that reduces water loss by up to 99%.
99%. Okay, so we know it's greasy. Why is it so good, and when should we actually use it?
It just creates a protective blanket that's almost impenetrable. You might not want to smear it on before work, but for problem areas, cracked heels, elbows, patches of eczema, it's unbeatable. A thin layer on top of your regular moisturizer, especially at night, provides the strongest barrier possible.
And finally, for that immediate searing itch relief, we have colloidal oatmeal.
This is your anti-inflammatory fire extinguisher. Colloidal oatmeal has these compounds called avenanthramides. And what's amazing is they directly interfere with that immune response.
They stop the cytokines.
They inhibit the release of those pro-inflammatory cytokines we talked about, which immediately soothes the inflammation. It cuts the itch signal right at the source.
This is such a complete holistic approach. Okay, before we wrap, let's do a quick summary, a checklist our listeners can use tonight.
Let's do it. First, shower lukewarm, 10 minutes max. Second, soak and seal within 3 minutes on damp skin. Third, choose your products wisely. Look for ceramides, 10% urea, or colloidal oatmeal.
Fourth, run a humidifier to keep your air between 30 and 50% humidity.
And fifth, fortify from the inside. Get enough omega-3s and consider supplementing vitamin D during the winter months.
And we want to remind you that this entire deep dive is based on the validated physiological principles compiled and researched by our expert source, Sharad Mishra.
And we always have to add this point. While this advice covers the vast majority of common seasonal dryness, if your itching is severe, persistent, or comes with other symptoms like fatigue or weight changes,
see a doctor.
You must see a dermatologist or physician. Severe itching can sometimes be a sign of underlying issues like thyroid, liver, or kidney problems that need a proper medical diagnosis.
So the big takeaway here is that your skin's health is this powerful reflection of the partnership between your external environment, that dry winter air, and the strength of your internal nutrient status.
You can't just fight the environment with lotion. You have to fortify the wall from the inside out and use the right seal at the right time. Understand the mechanism, and you gain control over the symptom.
We really hope this deep dive helps you get through this winter with a lot less scratching and a lot more comfort. If you found this useful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to The Deep Dive.
And leave us a comment below. Let us know what other topics you want us to explore next.
Remember to treat your skin like the high security barrier it is. We'll see you next time.